You can clearly tell that it is a black-clad individual.
A black-clad individual? This is unreal to me. You're going to look into the public's eyes while showing us the video and tell us that this person who's clearly wearing blue jeans is a black-clad individual? How soft-headed do they think we are? I had to check the video transcript to make sure I heard him correctly, and yeah, that's what he said. That was Jack Posobiec appearing on the Megyn Kelly show. If you're not familiar, he's a former on-air personality for the One America News Network. He positions himself as a right-aligned political activist and is currently a contributor for TPUSA. He attended parts of the Tyler Robinson preliminary hearing and is describing to Megyn what he claims he saw. I honestly can't believe I'm making this video. The topic seems so ridiculous that I'm questioning my own judgment and understanding. I mean, is this a thing? Are they claiming that the person we see running across the roof is wearing the same clothing as the person we see here in the stairwell, supposedly with a gun in his pants? I always thought it was pretty obvious that the clothing worn in these two separate videos is different, and assumed they would come up with some far-fetched explanation for that, like a third outfit change. When I finished watching this video, I thought to myself, I must be missing something. So I went back and listened to other parts of the interview more closely, and I came across this.
So this was the compilation video that had been played before, but the exhibit that they played before was the raw video only. So that compilation of Tyler Robinson walking around the stairwell, once in his red shirt and shorts, once in his second costume, sort of his assassin's getup, his sniper getup, whatever you call it.
So no, he's not claiming there's a third outfit change. He's telling you that the compilation video they saw showed the suspect walking around in his red shirt and shorts, shown here, and later in the stairwell wearing his second costume, his black sniper getup. Does this look like a black sniper getup to you?
And so Tyler Robinson is the name.
This is a kid in a long-sleeve t-shirt with a rather large high-contrast decal right on his chest, slightly faded blue jeans, and a ball cap. Probably dressed like half the kids on campus. I'm confident that you'll leave this video realizing that the outfit worn by the suspect here in the stairwell is not the same outfit worn by the suspect seen running across the roof. Welcome back to Shadow Wreckardz Independent Media. I'm Scott, your host. Let's do this. Before we get started, I gotta say, I'm a big fan of Megyn Kelly. She's one of the good ones. But I think the claims made by this guest called for much more scrutiny, and we're not going to pull any punches. Now, the video Megyn is showing here is a video of a courtroom screen. At the preliminary hearing, they played a video on a courtroom screen, and a camera captured a video of that screen. That's why it appears distorted, degraded, and desaturated. Lucky for us, most of these clips were already released to the public by the mainstream media, like 9 or 10 months ago. You can see that in this side-by-side comparison. On the left is a frame from the video Megyn is showing. On the right is a frame from an NBC News segment posted 10 months ago. These two images clearly come from the same source, a stairwell surveillance camera. The image on the left is distorted because it's a video of a screen, but you can still tell that it's from the same source. The shadows are identical. The same truck is in the background, etc. They're both portraying an image from the same original video. And even in the drastically desaturated image on the left, you can still tell the suspect is wearing blue jeans. It's abundantly clear in the image on the right. So how about the video of the suspect running across the roof? Can we tell if that individual is wearing blue jeans as well? Let's take a look. First, let me play a clip of what Megyn presented on her show. It's god-awful, so bear with me. I promise we're going to add some clarity to this mess.
This is the video of him just running across
Yes.
the rooftop.
So essentially what we saw was actually this angle, but a few minutes prior to this. So this is the same angle. This is what you see, although the quality here is not as good as what we saw in court.
Yeah, the quality here is garbage. Looks like someone shot this from the back row of the courtroom with a digitally zoomed in cell phone. But again, lucky for us, the Associated Press posted a video from one of these surveillance cameras 10 months ago, a few days after the event. Was the original source for this footage the original source for the clip that Megyn Kelly showed on her show? I honestly can't say. Her footage is that bad. But it's clearly from a similar angle and shows the suspect running across the roof and dropping down to the ground. It's from a credible source, if you consider any mainstream media outlet credible, so it's close enough for what I'm about to demonstrate. Okay, I'm going to take a still image from this surveillance video and compare it to the still image presented in that NBC News clip that I referenced earlier. Again, that's from a media outlet that most people consider a reliable source. In case you're wondering, I do have a background in photography. I started out taking landscapes with slide film, scanning them, printing them, selling them on eBay. I later got into digital and did fashion, portrait photography, and weddings semi-professionally. My day job was as a software engineer, but I've been using Photoshop for over 20 years. All right, let's get started. So I think I'm going to choose this frame right here. Now I chose this frame because much of the right leg of the suspect is in direct sunlight. We can tell from the angle of the shadow the suspect is casting as well as the hardness of the edges. Now anyone with even a moderate amount of photography experience knows that colors look more vibrant in the sunlit portion of a scene than in the shaded portion of a scene. So if there is blue in these pants, these conditions should allow us to see that. So far, I don't see it. But we're going to take it one step further. We're going to give that blue every chance to show itself by increasing the saturation. So I'm going to bump the saturation up plus 50. So, now we can see the red in the American flag looks more prominent, the hat looks a bluish gray, and the denim pants are a medium blue, albeit faded, but with a significant amount of blue. You can see the green up here in the top of the screen looks much greener. And let me turn it off a second. The hands here look very gray. That's not a normal skin tone. I turn it back on. They look much more natural. Now, plus 50 is probably a bit too much, but I just want to keep it consistent. So let's do the same thing for our other image. Adjustment layer, hue saturation. Now, before I even bump it up, I want to point out that in the lower left side, we have a car here with a bluish tint to it. In the lower right-hand corner, we have another car with a bluish, almost purplish blue tint to it. We also have some blue up in the top of the image. So this camera is clearly able to pick up and show the color blue. You'll also notice that the grass is very vibrant in this image, and that's before I've even enhanced the saturation. But the outfit of the suspect really shows no color at all. To me, it looks like a black shirt, maybe a gray hat, and the pants appear to be faded black or gray. Let's see what happens when we bump up the saturation by 50 like we did with the last image. Okay. Do we see blue? I don't. Now you might notice a slight cooling in the shadow parts of the image. Sunny day shadows tend to have a bluish tint caused by the ambient light from the blue sky. But let's zoom out so we could look at the cars. Look at the enhanced blue of this car. Look at the enhanced blue of this car here. So the saturation increase clearly bumped up the blue in those two cars. And it looks like it bumped up the blue in this top portion of the image as well. But on our suspect, I see no additional blue, which means to me that there is no blue in this part of the image, which means to me that there is no blue in this individual's pants. Let's turn it off and on. Off, on, enhance saturation, but nothing here. Let's go back and look at the cars. This car here, off, on, big difference. Let's look at the other car, if I can get it here. off, on. Huge difference. So if the suspect is wearing medium blue jeans, why do we see no blue in the enhanced saturation image? Simple. This is a different outfit. If it doesn't match, you must dispatch. I know, it's no Johnny Cochran. Now, I'm not trying to compete with the likes of Candace Owens or Baron Coleman. What they are doing is probably the most impressive investigative journalism I've ever seen. I'm just jumping in where I thought I saw some low-hanging fruit, a topic that I haven't seen covered in this exact way. Maybe it has been. There's a lot of people covering this story, but I haven't seen it, thought I could add value, and that's why I did this video. I'm not expecting it to blow the mind of those of you who are following Candace Owens or Baron Coleman. I'm actually hoping it reaches those of you who maybe aren't following this story. Perhaps nothing has made you curious enough to really get into the details. You know, you figure they got the guy, he seems dead to rights. Perhaps you heard the official story, thought it sounded reasonable, and moved on with your life. All of us who are skeptical had a wedge issue. For me, it was the 30-06. But I had researched deer rifles. I never bought one, but like with every big purchase I'm about to make, I went on a months-long deep dive, and I watched countless videos and read countless articles on how to select a deer rifle and caliber. And my takeaway on the 30-06 is that it's a monster caliber with a big kick that's only necessary if you want to hunt elk, moose, or bear. I've seen what this thing can do, and the idea that it didn't pass through a human neck just seemed impossible. But I get it. If you have no experience or knowledge about caliber, that might not really do it for you. Perhaps the simple observation that the pants of the suspect in the stairwell don't match the pants of the suspect on the roof can be the wedge issue that opens your mind to the possibility that there's more to this case than meets the eye. And I think I'll wrap it up there. If you want to support the channel and the video, please share it, hit that like button, leave a comment. What do you think? I'll see you soon.